Hello, everyone. Casey here, jumping in before the episode to let you know that the Jesters have a live show performance coming up. On July 29th, we are going to be performing at Sip and Play in Brooklyn. The show starts at 7 p.m., and it's going to be run by the lovely Rachel Kordell, and it's titled The Last Wish. You can get your tickets down below in the description, or you can buy them at the door there. But we hope to see you there either way for this amazing live show performance.
We begin in a marsh, like we always do. Reeds swaying back and forth. Cattails submerged about halfway up in deep, murky water that ripples along the surface. In the distance, we hear a as something reverberates across the land. When something small crawls out of the water from this higher viewpoint, it is minuscule and tiny, a little silver potato bug. As it crawls its way out of the water, the isopod, the pill bug, the roly-poly, many names for this tiny little creature. And if you will imagine with me, the camera is focused on this tiny little bug now as it moves across this marshy dirt. And the background is blurred out. And in the background, we see something as large as the sky snake across it, with red trails following behind it as it breaks apart the very clouds that makes up the sky, when something equally large, resplendent and golden, human in shape, blurred out, crashes into it, and an explosion rips across the land, causing that little roly-poly to curl up, roll down a slight hill as something collides into each other in the background. They split apart and continue to crash into each other. That little roly-poly scurries behind a rock and waits before popping out again and continuing on his little journey. Before the ground is sundered below it, sending him high into the sky as something larger than he could ever possibly imagine, 1 billion times his size, collides into the ground, and he is sent soaring through the high before landing on the ground once again as a little ball and rolling along in the dirt. That creature, that thing that's larger than the sky, rights itself and slides back into the sky, again blurred out, the little roly-poly making way across his land, and then we see something the scale of a nuclear explosion shoot out of the water, tendrils like skyscrapers reaching up, grabbing that creature and pulling it down into the water. The roly-poly making its way along the size of a pebble before a golden hand reaches down and plucks the roly-poly up.
Well, now I got questions again.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to be answered, especially if you're that cameraman. Hold on a second, there's some cool shit, but I got a roly-poly I want to zone in.
Hey, that roly-poly was the main character there, okay?
Man, the new Pokemon movie's fucking sick.
It came from the land of brutality and evil. It came from terror and fear.
I hear you in a whisper, calling me through the reeds. The wind sweeps, the waves bury me. Blood and dirt, flesh and rain, it's mud all the same. Before rivers, before bones, old like the marshlands, old like the marshlands, old like the marshlands when they heard their name.
to Blood on the Reeds, everybody. Woo! Today I am joined by Seth Coveyou.
Well, I am drunk now. Well, I am loaded. I got my 44 cocktail ready to go. I'm going to shoot myself in this hole.
The fall has not only broken his body, but his spirit. Casey Reardon.
I play Elmer Fink, and if you touch a dead body, you won't be dreaming of them no more.
Ooh. Rachel Kordell.
I play Laura Turner, and I am what I am now, but what remains?
Deep.
Is that Matthias?
Who's to say?
No?
It's like the ship of Theseus, but the person of Laura. We're
Yeah,
also
basically.
joined by Andrew Frost.
My name is Vernon Hodges, and this reminds me of a time back when I first joined the agency. The year was 1889, and DC sent me up to Seattle after the Great Fire. It's around there that I met the local kindred community there, and shit got wild.
Fuck yeah. And finally, special guest Nate Brass.
What's up, Internet? That's me. I play Chet.
Heck yeah.
Well, should we do a little recap, guys? Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what happened last time. Episode
8.
8.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
You guys managed to escape away from the witches, breaking free and taking some damage in the process, but making out with a grimoire, a book of spells and incantations that was able to reveal to you these secrets of taking away one James Theach's power. On the other side, Laura and Elmer dealt with the god of fiddler crabs as his demands were made. And it seemed that everybody wanted the same thing, the witches and the crab, to bring them the girl, the thing, the creature. Many names for her, but you all know her as Bailey. After that, people made their way out of there and found some safe refuge amongst a patch of sugar pine trees, where we had a couple of vignettes for the characters here. Elmer reunited with a really old friend, one Ruth. Chet, you read in the book and conferred with Laura, providing some semblance of comfort, I want to say. And John, you made a discovery and an artifact and have reclaimed the Dead Rise, your precious family boat that you hope to pass on to your kids one day. From there, you all made your way north, discovering that you needed to acquire a piece of James's grandfather, or as the book calls him, the original wolf, which you discovered that his resting place was about a mile north of the lighthouse. Trekking across the marsh, you eventually arrived at a strange pole rising out of the ground before Elmer and John suffered a bit of bad luck and fell, taking some damage there at the bottom. Upon colliding into the ground, though, and getting bearings of where they were, they discovered an enormous pirate ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, otherwise known as Blackbeard's pirate ship. Now, before we continue, the fall from last time, I should have treated it as a GM intrusion. As well as from that fall, if you choose to just simply take it or have to take it, you will gain an experience and then you will point an experience to somebody else. This is a mechanic that I have not been using enough in this setting, as I am new to running this, as I've only ever run a one-shot before this. So, retroactively, would either of you like to spend an experience and negate what happened?
I think since I've already taken the damage and we've already narratively gone into it, I'm happy to take the experience rather than negate damage.
Okay.
John?
Chalk it up to 1 experience.
And then we get to decide who else is getting another experience, correct?
Yes, you do. Who narratively are you going to give the experience to?
Just give it to each other, John.
Oh, give it to you, baby.
Gross.
The rest of you look over the edge
It's
of the
not
hole
gross, it's
and
Pride Month. Fuck you.
On the battlefield.
the rest of you look over the edge of the hole and you see Elmer and John making out in the hole.
Oh, is that the shared experience?
Gone
Gotcha.
in the mud there.
And might I remind everyone, we are recording on 6/9, all right? So we're not just making out.
Now can I say gross?
How'd they get their pants off so fast?
Be gay, do crime.
Continuing on. All right, so you two choose to take the damage, and you are giving the experience to each other. It kind of makes sense. You two are a little bit alone down in this hole right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Alone in the hole.
All right, then. Chet, Vernon, and Laura, you all watched your friends just collapse through a hole near that pole, basically, and fall 40 feet down. I assume you all poke your heads over the side and call down to make sure they're all right.
Oh, yeah.
You gentlemen all right down there?
No.
Yeah, not really. I think John's legs are broken.
Thanks, Casey.
Really? John, can you move your toes?
Yeah, they're broken. I'm not paralyzed.
Ooh, let me see if I can help. And Sky, I would like to use one of my new special abilities that I got from the level up. We discussed flavoring this one. I think it's called Void Wings, but we're going to call it Void Crab Legs, which basically allows me to sprout giant crab legs that lift me off the ground and allow me to fly, crawl around like a spider. And I would like to crawl down the side of this hole and go to meet them.
Like the bald guy from Teen Titans.
Or Doc Ock.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
His name was Gizmo.
Gizmo, yeah!
He was
The anger in Casey's voice.
Casey's really passionate about Gizmo from Teen Titans. It was his favorite character. So this is terrifying to everyone from different perspectives. For Vernon and Chet, you are standing there. And for Laura, for you, I almost say it's like instinct kicks over here. You're just like, how do I get down there? And you just hear a little bit of that fiddle music. And you just hear once again in your like head, like, am I not resplendent? As your back splits open and under your arms towards the back of your ribs, these enormous crab legs shoot out from your sides and thud into the ground there. Blood pooling down from where they split from your skin. And they are not just normal like blue crab or fiddler crab legs. They are made of bone and cartilage that is not fully formed. They crack along the sides and have sinew hanging off of them, and mud caking all along them. So for you guys, you watch a horrific transformation. For Elmer and John, you all look up at the mouth of this hole above you, and you watch as a six-legged creature crests the side of it. It looks like a massive spider with a person hanging limply off the ends of the legs, suddenly is silhouetted by that evening sun as it makes its way down towards you both.
Dear Lord, this day keeps getting worse.
I think we're gonna die here, John.
Oh my God.
Ew.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, I don't think I comment anything as this happens, and then just kind of goes
Sure, that'll
down
make it
to
better.
meet you. When I reach the bottom by you guys, I think the legs like lower me to the ground, although they are still there, like sprouting out of my back and arcing down to the ground. And I kind of kneel down. Are you guys okay?
No.
Not particularly, no, Laura.
Great.
Are you?
Yeah, why? And I would like to use another ability, Charm Touch, which I've increased my edge, so this doesn't cost anything. And I'm going to look to restore some stat points to you guys.
Ooh.
It says, I believe I have to roll difficulty 2 to make this work. I'll just read the whole ability so everyone understands how it works. So Charm Touch. With a touch and a few chosen words, you restore 1d6 points to one stat pool of any creature. This ability is a difficulty 2 task. Each time you attempt to heal the same creature, the task is hindered by an additional step. The difficulty returns to 2 after that creature rests for 10 hours, 1 action.
Okay.
So, we rolled, we got a 12 on the die.
For which one of us?
That could be for... Elmer, you first, because you came with me into the crab place.
Shit! God damn it!
And then 16 on John.
Okay.
And we
So-
restore 1d6, yes?
Yes. And do you want me to roll for both of you? Or do you want to roll yourself?
No.
You can roll. Okay, or not. John wants to roll himself.
I want to
Either
roll
one. You can
myself.
roll for me, Rachel.
Okay, cool, thanks. Paid off, I got a 6.
Nice.
Fuck, I rolled a 3.
Heh.
Well, it seems like you fucked up a little bit, didn't you, bud?
What, do we add anything to that?
Nope,
Multiply.
just 1d6.
This is a... Get 3. You have 3 might.
I'm up to
I
8.
technically can do it again, I just have to beat a difficulty 3.
Okay.
Do it again.
I mean, yeah. Do you want to do it again?
I can, yeah. It is free because
How does this look when you're doing it, Laura?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, you just watch this crab spider like skitter down the wall, kneel by you, ask if you're okay, and then I think I think it's so gross. I think you watch as she scoops her hands into the mud underneath you instinctually and throws it onto your limbs, and with a swell of power, you can feel this energy pulse into you and reassembling bones or mending blood vessels within you and restoring your health. That is a 6, so that doesn't
Nope, not
beat
a
a 3.
difficulty 3.
Okay.
Your legs break more.
Do you have anything? Do you have any skills that ease that difficulty?
You have using magic?
Using
Yeah.
magic?
That would ease it. Yes.
Great.
So that
So then you
would make
pass.
it succeed. Yeah.
Pass.
That means it succeeds.
Fantastic. John, would you like me to roll this time?
No.
Is it a 1?
Seth,
should have said
I'll offer
yes.
you this right now. Would you rather take my roll or do you want your roll? You don't know what my roll is. It could be worse.
It can't be worse.
It could be worse.
It literally can't be worse.
Do you want to take my roll? Do you want to take that too?
He's going to make it 0.
Sky has a
do it.
non-Euclidean die. You don't want this.
No.
It's a -3.
If you're rolling a d6, is that what you're rolling? A d6?
I did roll a d6.
Okay, so I'll take your roll.
Okay, then. Infection sets in immediately. You lose the no. No, you take 5
Jam
points of
intrusion.
healing.
5 points?
5 points of healing.
Hell yeah.
Great.
As Laura is like mending our bones and blood vessels, as she described it,
Bones.
I think Elmer calls out a little bit, just going, oh, because it is not a pleasant process, I can imagine.
No, not at all.
Laura,
Yes? She looks up at you with a grim smile.
next time, leave my legs broken.
Oh, sorry. And with her feeling the healing finish up, she retracts. And most of the mud actually comes with her hands, I think. Just like, a light, like, casing or like, bit of mud, as if you had just kind of like touched the mud, as opposed to like a whole bunch of mud being on you is what's left behind.
You should have had some of the disinfectant beforehand like I did.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Laura, yeah, as you pull your hands back and they are caked in quite a bit of blood here, the long limbs that are now sprouting of your back, like a crab, they molt off and fall down into the mud, giving you at least a more presentable human form, if it wasn't for the fact that your left arm is now 6 inches longer and your right arm is 6 inches shorter.
Great.
Adding to this new appearance that you have.
Oh, I'm a little grossed out to say, I kind of wonder if that's edible. And then I'm also grossed out because I thought that with my mind. He just throws back the flask a little bit more.
She just looks at John quizzically, really not even bothered by this new alteration.
Please don't stare at me.
She stares and smiles.
All right, I'm done reacting. You can proceed with the scene, God.
I'm staring.
God strikes you down.
No.
I smile.
No, that was great.
44 feet. 40 more feet.
Vernon, how are you getting down?
That is a great question.
You could just
Wilderness Explorer, probably.
You could just get a rope on that pole and shimmy down, or you could try and climb down the wall. It's like poorish, like marshy kind of wall to it. Really, a cavern shouldn't exist in a marsh. It doesn't make any sense. The water line would flood here immediately. But
That's
yet
true.
there is a cavern.
And I do have rope.
You do have rope.
Happily.
Do you want to just lash it to the pole? You won't even need to roll. You're an experienced agent. You could just lash it to the mast that is. Now you realize that pole sticking above the marsh is actually a massive center mast to this enormous man-of-war galleon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll do that.
All right, so Vernon, you rappel down. Chet, I'm sure you're soon to follow. But Chet, your eyes linger over that wide spread marsh a little longer as you are suddenly alone topside. And as you stare out into the distance, way, way in the distance, you can make out the lighthouse peeking above the marsh. And about 500 feet away, you see a figure standing in the marsh before a second smaller figure steps out from behind them. 2 women that stare at you across this marsh. And you feel a compulsion to return that book to where it belongs.
I thought they couldn't leave.
And then they are gone. Like wind rustling through those beautiful reeds.
Fuck you, it's mine.
That's what you get for stealing the ring. As if you hop on the rope and you slide on down. Taking much after your grandma and having a bit of levity in a truly horrible situation. And you all are now standing in front of that galleon. You see the galleon in front of you. You would be able to scale the sides fairly easily, as there are the wooden steps leading up the side of the hull there that are built into it. So you'd be able to climb up onto the deck of the ship that is slightly tilted like 15 degrees off of its axis, basically. And before that happens, though, let's see here. Elmer.
Yes.
You are still down in the mud, kind of recuperating from that fall. And actually, John, why don't both of you roll a a perception, and we'll just see who gets under. We're gonna say this is only a difficulty 3. I want to see who does better, basically. So who rolls?
The difficulty is multiplied by 3.
Yes. I get a free effort on navigation, perception, and initiative tasks in places I haven't been before because of my curious ability, which I just got on the level up.
Would you like to use that now?
Is it only a one-time use?
It says if for your first time in a new place or one time in a new place, right?
Oh.
So
let me double check that, but you might be right. You're always curious about your surroundings, even on a subconscious level. Whenever you use effort to attempt navigation, perception, or initiative tasks in an area that you've only rarely or never visited before, you can apply an additional free level of effort. So I assume only rarely would mean that I could do it more than once. It is an enabler, so, which makes it passive.
I guess so. It feels like it should be like one time, but
it's only for initiative, perception, and navigation. So I think that's why.
All right. Yeah, sure. It just feels like you're always going to be in new places,
if you're using effort already.
Oh, I think that could be it. I might need to. Yeah, it's an additional. So I have to spend effort and then you get a second effort. That's what it is.
I would say don't worry about spending effort on this.
No, because I have to spend effort to get. Basically, I get 2 effort for 1 with that, but I don't want to spend an effort.
So just go ahead and roll, see how you do.
It's a 14.
It's a 14. Okay, so you don't succeed. You're a little distracted by the crab in front of you.
14 doesn't succeed? Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, 14 does succeed. Sorry.
You rascal.
John, what'd you roll?
Yeah, I'd like to lower the difficulty. I'd like to ease it.
Okay. Do you want to ease this?
I'd like to rattle off some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to ease it.
Okay.
Could I use my business acumen?
No.
All right. What about understanding magic? Because I just did fall into a 40-foot hole out of nowhere. Could be magic.
Understanding magic. I'm gonna say yes.
Oh, okay. Then I ease it, and then I am successful.
Okay.
Because I got a 6.
You're successful. John did do well. He rolled farther under, which means that over. You know what? Whatever. You both see it. You both are down in this mud right now and sort of getting your bearings. And your hands down in that mud feel something move underneath them. And I imagine that you pull your hands back and look, and you would see the ground shifting underneath you, and you would see, quite frankly, a very familiar looking tendril sink down into the mud.
Oh no, we should probably get off this mud and get on that boat.
You would also notice a strange looking cylinder. It looks organic, almost like bone.
Careful now.
Right. Not again. We're not doing this again. You see a girthy cylinder with veins.
This is the sexy episode.
That's a sexy episode. Now, you see an ancient-looking bone. I'm going to kick you out of the show.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
God. Elmer, only you see. John is blinded by mud in his eyes for a moment. Elmer, do you grab it though?
Is it in the mud?
It's, yeah, about where your hand just was.
Then yes, I would grab it.
Okay, you snag it. You don't see anything else moving, but it felt very large.
Yeah, it did.
You gotta help me.
No one has
There's
to do
no other
anything,
way.
Seth.
There's
No one has
no
to do
other
anything.
way to go about it. It's just how I have to describe it.
I know.
Firmly grasp it.
There's nothing to do.
I'm so sorry.
Hey,
We should probably get out on a boat.
Elmer, give me a quick identify. It would be a difficulty 1.
I do not have any skills in identify.
That's
so-
fine.
I do.
Everyone can do it. Just go ahead and roll.
Bad,
Get above
it's
a
my
3.
roll. 11.
11. Okay, then. This is a cipher.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Cipher
Yeah.
number 2. Well, technically 3, but I used one. Aha.
Can I roll still?
For what?
No, you're right. Never mind.
You know what? I just realized I never identified the grass charm. That
You
I got.
didn't ever identify, but it's okay. Would you like to roll identify on that retroactively?
I would love to. Natural 20, buddy.
Hey.
Okay, unfortunately, that doesn't really give you anything
It's a
more.
cipher,
here.
all right.
But I will send that over. Casey, would you like to read out loud what you have gotten?
The Ancient Bone. 1d6 plus 3 form. A strange cylindrical bone that seems more akin to cartilage than bone. The length of your arm. It is hollow, has holes along its sides. A feeling of power emits from it. Use. When you are in danger or seek assistance, blow into the bone, and it will summon help in an ungodly form. No one else can hear the tune.
You blow that bone.
This is an ungodly conversation.
I'm gonna blow this bone.
You're gonna blow that bone. The thing explodes in your hand.
Oh my god, it's everywhere.
It interacts badly with the other
The
side.
bone
Somebody
blows
get
up
it.
in my hands.
God
That's why
damn
I
it.
blew it.
I guess it was a good blow.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It turns to goo and it goes away.
Oh,
No, it's
goo.
worse. That's worse.
Is the goo that explodes out of it?
It's a white
God.
goo that comes out of the bone I blew.
All right, Andrew, would you like to read the charm you got?
I do. I will. So, woven charm. It is a woven circular charm made from the stalks of old brown marsh grass. It smells vaguely of brine and dirt with a hint of something sweet. Basically, I have to set it on fire and put it somewhere where it's not likely to blow out. As long as it is on fire, it lasts 10 minutes per cipher level, which is determined by a 1d6. Each time I'm attacked, I inflict 2 points of damage back onto the attacker. And then additional for the higher the level of the thingamabob.
That's cool.
So funny. I forgot to replace candle with charm. That's my bad.
It's all good, buddy.
You'll light the ends on fire, and it will give you a little bit of protection.
Cool.
Sounds good to me.
All right, you all make your way into the ship.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I am the captain now.
You make your way on board. You see that boards have fallen away in several parts. An ancient cannon has broken through one part and fallen down potentially several decks below you. There is what looks like the officer's cabin or a captain's cabin on the far end of one side, and to the opposite end are barrels and crates that are disheveled and falling apart as if this has been here for hundreds of years. There is a staircase also leading further down into the hull.
So, do we think his granddad's remains are still on the ship, or is this where we're supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the body would have lasted down here in this humid, wet environment.
Sky,
Yep.
just because Laura is a bit of a know-it-all researcher, again, digs into the debunking of things, would I have the ability to maybe roll for some kind of insight into the potential preservation, magical preservation of something? Like the potential of something still being down here despite the conditions not really being great?
That would be like rolling into magic. It wouldn't really, I mean, your research there is into the opposite of that. It would be into how could something chemically last forever down here, you know? Like how could a body be preserved? And bodies have been preserved by marshes and bogs dozens and dozens of times.
Well, there we go. That's what I was meaning to ask.
A lack of oxygenated environment basically means that a lot of bodies can't decompose when they are in bogs and marshes, and they'll actually be mummified and preserved quite amazingly.
Sure. So, okay, cool. Yeah. So Laura would then say, no, actually, these are probably better conditions for preserving bodies, actually. Shall we take a look?
No.
All right. I feel like we probably should, though, if we're trying to find the remains and such. Chet, you're the one who read the book. Is this the spot that we're supposed to be?
I mean, I would assume so. The book didn't say it was on his ship, but if we're on a pirate ship, I would assume most captains want to be buried on their ship that they hid under the swamp.
Well, as a captain myself, that is not the ideal objective.
Are you a pirate captain or just a captain? There's a difference.
If I was a pirate, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh, that's true.
Hmm.
Do we think John's a pirate or not?
Is nobody
everybody?
cognizant of the fact that we're on Blackbeard's ship right now?
I got
it
it.
just
It's
me?
pretty awesome.
Who?
Blackbeard. You know, Edward Teach.
The devil himself.
Oh, Teach Theech!
That tracks.
Well, if there is a book on a pirate ship, it would be in the captain's quarters.
I thought this ship was supposed to be North Carolina.
Before that, I feel like this conversation goes on about Blackbeard. And can we believe we're on Blackbeard's ship? Blackbeard's ship, and just pan to Laura, who's half crab creature, going, "Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that tracks."
Yeah, let's check for the manifest. Probably in the captain's quarters.
Manifest.
Well, are we looking for Blackbeard himself then?
Is that?
I'm confused. Are we looking for a body or a book?
You would be looking for a body.
Oh.
Thanks, God.
Then I'm
Okay.
going to look in the captain's cabin, because that's where the captain would be.
That's what I was thinking too. So I'm going to start walking in that direction.
Now, what's strange to me is Blackbeard was really just feared for reputation. As far as actual violence goes, he was really just more of a showboat. Didn't get
Now,
into
this is a
many-
war boat.
No, I know, but he let his reputation precede him. He wasn't a very violent man.
Well, I also never heard of Blackbeard being a wolf, so I think we can just kind of assume we don't know shit about Blackbeard right
Yeah,
now.
history's full of holes.
That's true.
Much like this boat. Hey, look, a door to the captain's quarters.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I
look.
mean, if we were thinking historically, this boat wouldn't even be here. It'd be off the
North
coast of
Carolina.
Ocracoke in North Carolina. And Blackbeard's head would have been
Nate
taken by
gets-
Captain
Nate-
Maynard all the way to Virginia.
Nate gets an experience, and
Yes.
that's that. All right. Why don't everyone just give me a perception investigation? You all are heading towards the captain's cabin there,
I think
which is up on the deck of the ship.
Elmer is gonna keep an eye out on the mud where that massive tendril was to make sure that we aren't attacked while we are on said boat.
I'm going to come back to you on that.
Okay.
The rest of you, this is going to be difficulty 2.
For me, it's lower to a 1 because I'm trained in perception.
Great.
That is a 12.
Great.
I also rolled a 12, but would I have it eased for having identifying as a trained skill?
No.
Okay, no problem. Either way, 12.
Okay, so 12. Chet, John, how'd you do?
Would you say this is a task involving knowledge or figuring out problems or puzzles?
Not really. It's not really a puzzle. You're just kind of looking around right now.
Okay, so it's not hindered, but I still rolled a 1.
You're... That's so funny. Yeah, let's you know what, GM intrusion. You, as you're looking around, you see something shiny on below a table in that cabin's quarters. You bend down to look at it and you just whack your head into
would you look at that? What's that? Oh,
into the side of a table there. And for the next hour, you are going to be hindered on perception.
Don't concuss yourself now. You all right, John?
I've already concussed, I think.
Possible.
Does anyone have a coloring book? I'm taking an experience from the GM intrusion.
Yes, you are.
Thank
Also,
you.
don't forget to give one, too.
Yeah, you got to give
Oh.
one to somebody else, too. And have a canon reason for why they're getting an experience.
I give it to Chet, and because after I hit my head, I say, Chet, there was something shiny under the table. I'm gonna lie down now.
All right, just don't fall asleep, because that's probably not good for you.
And Chet, how'd you do on that?
Would you say this is a check involving learning something new?
Yeah, sure. Let's say it is.
Cool. It doesn't matter. I got a 10.
Okay. It matters for the purposes of who's going to find things, because technically Vernon and Chet did the best here. So you all enter into the cabin's corner. It is lavishly decorated, or at least it was lavishly decorated. It seems that a lot of the more beautiful objects, or at least where they would be placed, years of being in that spot helped outline them. It has been hundreds of years potentially since they have been in those spots, but you can still tell that this place was lavishly decorated at one point. But a lot of that has deteriorated over time. None of you find a body in here, though. Chet, you would be drawn to a pair of spectacles, though, that lie broken on a table. And Vernon, you would be drawn to a small bag with a pouch, about a pouch the size of your palm, that would have a corded rope that would be big enough to be worn around your neck. And if either of you would like to do identify on those, you would recognize them immediately as having magical properties.
Yeah.
I'm going to investigate the bag.
Okay, then. It's a DC 1. All right, Vernon, did you pass?
Yeah, I barely got there with a 3.
Oh my God. Whoa, too funny. You want to read that out? Chet, you go ahead and roll. It's a difficulty 2.
I got a 10.
The black powder bag. Small pouch that smells of sulfur with a fuse running out of it. I place the charm around my neck and light the fuse. For the next day, anytime I'm attacked, the charm explodes and pushes my attacker back an immediate distance and hinders them on their next turn. Don't lose a finger.
What about your neck?
You'll be fine.
What about your sternum?
Yeah, I don't like that.
It just blasts forward, not back.
Exactly. And Chet, would you like to read aloud what you got?
Sure. I got the first mate spectacles. Old and broken pair of spectacles with the lenses smashed. Whispers of faint smoke linger between the broken shards. Use. Place the spectacles upon your nose. Black glasses. For 5 hours per cipher level, you can see in the dark as if it were daylight to have an asset in all perception checks, including those involving sight and awareness, including insight.
Oh, that's cool.
Elmer, you are out on the deck of the ship and you look over the side there, peering back to see if that tendril is back again. And for a brief moment, looking out into that darkness with just the hole at the top of this cavern now with a rope running down it, the light trickling down in. That floor that was mud looks like a writhing mass of tendrils. Hundreds of them spread across the floor, twisting and turning between each other. But you blink and it's mud again. And you can't tell if you were just seeing things or maybe the true nature of things.
Ruth? Lucky? You guys seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, you would hear Ruth whisper to you, I'm not sure what that was, but I saw what you just saw.
Okay,
That shit is fucked.
that's not good.
And then Ruth would chime in,
Oh. There it is. There it is.
and as Ruth speaks there, you all would hear from somewhere down below the deck a thud into the wood boom out, followed by the rattle of chains. And a voice would echo throughout those halls. Parlay.
Parlay?
I imagine we meet on the deck.
Yeah, you all would look out onto the deck. Elmer, you're already out on the deck. And for the briefest moment, you would see someone walking down the stairs in a little white dress with strange motley green hair into the hull of the ship.
Like a ghost, like a flash, like a vision?
Like the little girl you've seen a couple of times now.
We should probably make our way down then.
Yeah, let's go.
You all make your way into the top layer of the hull of this ship. The ship is massive. The hull itself, almost 40 feet tall, sunken into the marsh partially. And this top deck, only about 8 feet tall. You see that there's a set of stairs on the opposite side. You don't see the girl again, though, this time, but you would know that most likely your quarry is farther down into the hull. And once again, you hear a thud into the hull of the ship, just a as chains rattle. You'd make your way down into the large cargo hull at the base of the ship, a room that is a good 25 feet tall. It is a very large space, even on a ship, but it was used for hoards of treasure. And as your eyes adjust, it is incredibly dark in that room, especially on the opposite end. Reaching out of that darkness past a series of crates, you would see an enormous woven hand stretch out, its palm the size of your torso as it slams into the hull, an enormous manacle around its wrists and chains leading back into the darkness before it drags itself forward, and you all would see the largest wolf you have ever seen. And it stares across at you. Silver streaks running through its fur. Below its wolf-like face, you see that a large tufts of fur hang off of it, almost forming an enormous black beard. Wounds etch its body, freely bleeding as blood trickles down onto the deck of the ship that is already soaked in a pool of blood. And as he opens his mouth to speak, more blood foams at the end of those long, sharp teeth. What be ye doing on my ship? Speak!
Looking for you, I guess.
Aye? But why are you seeking a wolf such as me?
We've come to parley with the man named Theach.
He would leap for you. The chains just barely stopping him from getting to you. Actually, you would have to retreat partially up the stairs, but you would have time enough to react before a massive paw would land where you were. As he slams in the ground,
Be not my name. Teach, boy. Get it right while you stand upon my ship.
I had a feeling, Captain. My name is Vernon Hodges. These are my companions. What binds you to this place?
A betrayal of my own kin. My son. He bound me here with foul trickery, not a bit of honor to him.
And it seems he's bastardized your name while he's at it.
Aye. 'Tis a shame for a son to not carry his father's legacy.
I understand that one more than I'd like to admit.
Aye. That boy Augustus. He seeked a kinder way, not understanding the pain of this world. So he bound me here.
Interesting.
How do we unbind you then?
as he looks across, you see this wolf grin ear to ear.
Why, you simply need to pull these chains from my wrists, and I shall have my revenge upon all of those who seek to trap me here, upon all of those who dare to serve a weakling like my son.
Sky, I would like to discern this creature's true motives.
So you all would pick up on a piece of information there, and the fact that he did not say James, but instead he said Augustus and my son.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not necessarily James that trapped him here, but his son, Augustus, who you could presume to be James's father.
Right.
And you're not entirely sure what exactly the relationship there was. Because as he said, it seemed that Augustus wanted to bring a kinder way to lead. But James has been far from kind in anything that you've heard about him.
And James usurped Augustus based off the book, right?
Yes. It seemed that Augustus trapped the witches. James tricked the witches, killed one of them, to obtain the power of his grandfather, and then used that power to kill his father, Augustus.
That's what I wanted to do. Okay. If I may. Laura, being still a researcher in her own right, I think would speak up and ask, do you remember how you became like this?
Like you?
Like me?
Aye. Like you, Harold.
And he steps forward, blood trickling down as he rises above you. And I think we get this great in-the-dark shot of you silhouetted with the outline of his frame looking down on you. These blood-red eyes staring down as blood trickles down, looking like rainfall cascading over you. But the blood does not come near you as the chains stop him.
I am a herald of the god of wolves. A most dangerous god.
That's so cool.
What are you a herald of?
Don't make me do that, Sky. Fuck you.
Tell him. Tell the big scary wolf that you're a herald of crows.
I, with full strength and proclamation, am the herald of the fiddler crab.
Of the fiddler crab? Aye.
That, That seems to be what has answered my call when I was dying.
Be ye a willing member of his court?
Oof. Oh, the hesitation, the pause, the pregnant pause that creates as she mulls it over. And then looks up to him and says, yes.
What I want to know right now, is that a lie? Or is that the truth?
That is, with strong consideration, the truth.
He grins yet again.
Then you will know a life of power and plenty. Free me, kin, so I may seek my revenge. And if need be, I can break your chains too from that god. However, it seems ye serve willingly, so there is no point to that, is there?
And Vernon, at that point, why don't we get that insight roll from you? And if anybody else would like to roll insight, you are welcome to as well. Everyone but Laura in this moment.
As someone who's trained in discerning people's true motives,
Yep, go ahead.
I will lower the difficulty.
All right.
That is a 13.
Okay, then. This is a difficulty 5. You ease that by 1 to a 12. So, you succeed. Does anybody else succeed?
No.
I have an inability to notice danger, so I'm not going to roll.
I haven't been in this scene. Should I be rolling?
Oh,
I'm also concussed.
You are slightly concussed, and you would be hindered by 1 to this, so it'd be difficulty 6. You are still welcome to roll if you want.
Okay. I passed. It's a 12.
No.
Oh, wait.
No,
did
you'd
you
be
say difficulty
hindered
6?
by 1.
Yeah, you're hindered. So
Oh.
you have to roll an 18.
Yeah, no.
So close.
Okay. The rest of you are a little confused in this moment. There is a giant wolf talking to you. It is apparently Blackbeard. It's a lot of information. Vernon, you would know that if you release this wolf, this powerful creature, a herald of a god at his full capacity, he would kill every single person on this island, maybe excluding you.
So we should free him, right?
Not yet.
Well, I think in direct answer to that question, or to that, in direct answer to that proclamation, I think Laura, a smile would creep across her face with her weird cracked jaw shifting into this disgusting visage, and would say, "You would free me, but would that be all?"
What are you seeking to gain?
I think she wants to leverage this for as much as she can get. There's no one else that's going to come get this guy, so...
He looks to the rest of you.
Tell me true. Why be ye here on my ship, other than a herald to seek out another herald? 'Tis not uncommon, be ye, but we have our domains. You must all want something. What is it?
We're gonna kill your son.
Your grandson's a ponce.
Your son no longer draws breath. It is your grandson that takes control of this island.
It matters not. He is the kin of my betrayer, and for that he is as good as dead. I shall kill him all the same, once you free me from my manacles.
When the book said we needed a piece of him, do we have an idea of, like, how much?
Is this wolf shed?
Enough to fit in a small vial, enough to fit in your pocket, enough to fit in the palm of your hand. You would need just the smallest amount of him. But it needs to be from him. You would know that the blood that is pooling on the ground, that almost comes up to your ankles at this point, would not work. It needs to come directly from him.
Given freely.
No, not freely.
Oh, okay.
It can be taken.
Okay.
Should we ask him to spit in a cup?
Pee in this jar.
With that information, Elmer is going to kind of give a look towards Vernon and say, well, meeting one such as yourself, Captain Blackbeard, sir, what other reason could somebody have for coming here? If you don't mind, I'd like to get close enough to remove those chains for you.
Wait, I don't like that idea.
I would like to discern Elmer's true motives.
You all have been traveling with Elmer for a little bit. Now I feel like this would just be a difficulty 1 kind of check. Just don't get a natural 1, basically. And
15.
Well, Vernon, you just pass
Lord
automatically.
0.
Yeah, you automatically pass.
I rolled.
Yeah.
I passed.
Roll the natural 1. Hey, don't do that.
Are you serious?
Do you really?
Yeah. What a time for a natural. And that's so funny. Yeah, John, from your point of view, Elmer is trying to free this murderous wolf. Everyone else, you know that Elmer is attempting to trick this wolf.
You some kind of idiot? Don't get near him.
That's why I'm asking permission, John.
No, that's a terrible idea. He's a liar.
Well,
He made a whole living on lying to people and stealing.
well, hold on. We'll free you, but you're just going to kill your grandson?
Man, I really am concussed. The whole team is going on freeing a wolf.
And all those that served him, too.
Well, that would be the entire town. So we're just going to commit genocide. Okay. Well, I think this is a nice time to leave.
John,
What?
Have you a way to kill him? Have you a way to pierce his skin and draw his blood? I do.
During all this, is Elmer just inching forward?
I imagine so.
Yeah.
Elmer, I'm going to need a stealth check from you, and then I will jump right back to you.
I mean, I did ask for permission, but I'll make a stealth check too. That's fine.
Well, it's stealth check or... Well, now that people are going against the idea here...
Sure.
So this could either be deception or this could be a stealth check from you. And then, John, well, Casey's deliberating on that. What did you want to say?
Well, what is it, and where can we find it?
It be me, boy.
You?
Only I, the wolf, can kill the other wolf.
But how would you kill the other wolf?
Teeth and fang that pierce anything.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if we set you free, would you just continue to murder beyond that of the island? Would you kill us too?
I would pledge myself back to the freedom that I once enjoyed, yes. If people wish to cross my path to hinder that purpose, then they might find themselves at the bottom of those murky waters.
See, I don't think that sounds right for somebody in a position quite as yourself is.
Oh? Is it not the goal of everyone for freedom?
We can't just set you free if you're going to wreak havoc like that.
I would. As I would expect you to live yours, to the freedom that you desire, no? Do we all not wish to do what we want in this world?
Yeah, that was bullshitter for I do what I want and I will kill you. So let's not unlock the wolf.
So while you all are distracting him, Elmer, what did you want to roll?
You said stealth or what? What was the other option?
Stealth or deception?
I will roll stealth here. I don't have really any way to negate either. Stealth is going to be speed-based, so I am going to spend an effort to lower that down. I have 1 edge, so that's 2. And then, if possible, I would like to, well, I might save this in case I fail, but we're going to lower it. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 5.
So I lowered it down to 4. So I got to roll 12 or higher here.
I thought you eased it by 2 there.
No. So the curious I can only use to get a free effort on navigation, perception, or initiative.
Okay, then.
So I can only use it by 1.
Okay.
As Elmer's making his way over, I'm just going to reach into my pocket and ready 2 shotgun shells in between my fingers.
Let's see here. You all were doing a whole bunch of talking. We're going to make this a group check, difficulty 4, speaking, to ease this again for Casey by another 1.
I just want to say, don't bother. That's a natural 20.
Oh, baby! Oh!
Well, let me roll.
God. It's in that one.
It's a 12.
Elmer, you make your way over, and this enormous wolf, this herald of the wolf god, one that you could probably assume is one of the more powerful and revered gods out there. What are you attempting to obtain? Blood, fur, skin,
The goal
a claw?
initially was to make his way towards these shackles, which I don't know where the shackles are on him.
They're on the wrists right above his paws.
Making his way over to them as if he were going to unlock them. And then quickly grab on to just a tuft of fur and just rip it out, backing himself away as quickly as possible.
Amazing. You all are like trying not to look at Elmer as Elmer is sort of blended into the shadows along the side of the hull there. It is remarkable that this wolf has not spotted you. And in a moment, you grab a tuft of fur. It is like grabbing a full head of hair, and you, with all your strength, rip it out, blood spurting out as a section of the skin just simply peels away from where you rip it out, your face getting splattered with a slight amount of blood as the paw is wrenched backwards. And you are going to need to make a difficulty 5 speed check. But before that happens, though, I want you to roll 2d6 for me.
2d6, okay.
Okay. This was originally going to be 1d6.
It's going to be 6.
6, you have basically 6 clumps of fur, meaning that everyone will be able to have a piece of this wolf.
Amazing. That is great.
So anywho, what are you doing instead of this speed roll? How are you fucking...
Because is this a speed defense? I'm assuming?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Instead, I'm going to use another one of my new abilities.
Incredible.
Called Foil Danger. Costs 2 intellect points, and essentially, I can negate one source of potential danger related to one creature or object that you are aware of, or within immediate distance for 1 round. It can be a weapon. It can be a creature's natural ability.
You have no idea how good this is. As the paw slams down and you watch as the chain slams in the ground and loops on itself, rolling along, and that loop was going to wrap around you and grapple you back towards the wolf. You instead dodge expertly out of the way. I almost imagine that for the rest of you, you watch as a young woman appears ghostly and apparitional and moves almost matching the movement with you, arms matching against yours as you dodge almost gracefully out of the way, and this ghost helps you move, a sense of danger alert. Your otter, no help whatsoever.
But the ghost dog is too.
Oh, the ghost dog was at the campsite.
It lasts for an entire day, 24 hours.
That is true. The dog there as well, moving along with you. Again, these several ghostly apparitions helping you out as you dodge out of the way, make your way back to the stair, and that wolf is snarling and growling and slamming into the deck.
I think as Elmer is grabbing this and this is happening, Laura was on a completely different page, wanting to take full advantage of the situation, and seeing that the illusion there has been disturbed, she just yells out, "No!" And action quickly erupts into the scene here.
Okay, what are you doing? What is the action that you are doing?
I think we're all gonna leave in a second here.
Yeah, I think Elmer grabs the tuft of fur, dodges out of the way with the help of Ruth and Lucky, and just kind of, as he turns to go back up the stairs, holds his arms out to push everybody out with him.
But Laura is still staring at the wolf as the group of people get forced up the stairs, as she's staring him down, almost I'll be back, as everyone is I guess moving up the stairs. I imagine that's what everyone else is going to do.
Yeah, I would imagine everyone is fleeing from this place.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah. Just getting shoved up the stairs backwards, just I'm not done with you.
Yeah, as you guys flee, you would hear the wolf shouting back from down his throat, "Get back here! Release me! My revenge! I must have it! Come back! I will feast upon you if I ever find you! Rend your bones from your flesh and grind them!" As you flee to the top of that deck, climb back out the rope, and are back up top of that marsh.
That was a lot of blood. Did you get it like a claw or a tooth?
Elmer looks down at his hands where he's holding the clumps of fur.
Is it in the clumps of fur?
It is the clumps of fur.
Elmer Fink. Why, those idiots in D.C. decided to stick you behind a fucking desk will always elude me. You beautiful man, you. You
ruined it. You ruined everything.
And then immediately turns to Laura what the fuck?
We were going to have so much power. How could you?
I'm sorry, Laura. We? You seem to just be negotiating for yourself, first and foremost. And second off, that's not what the mission is. It's not even what your mission was from your crab god, all right? If anything, that would ruin it.
You have no idea.
I'm really so confused. We're going to stab him with fur?
I'm also confused.
Well, if Chet's confused, then I think we might be more screwed than I thought. Chet, I thought we just needed a piece. You said a piece. You didn't say what kind of piece. You gotta be more clear.
I got him talking. He said teeth. He said his teeth.
He did have big teeth.
I believe just a piece.
Chet, you quickly flip open the book and check again, and you see that there is a ritual to perform here. A circle magic to imbue these with essence that will link you in partial to that wolf down there, granting you the ability, if these tufts of fur are made into charms that are pressed into the palm of your hands, you will be able to bypass the enchantment that has been placed on James Theach, allowing any of you to freely do harm to him. And as you read that out in better words than that, less technical words than that, you look up from the book at your friends and you find inches from your face, the face of the witch pearl as she simply says to you, "Return that book!" And we will end the session here for the week.
Oh,
Boy.
Dude, I can't wait for that ritual, and we're just gonna get the rights for Wolf Like Me by TV on the radio. Oh shit! That's gonna be so good.
All right, we ran a little bit long here, folks, so why don't we jump into some plugs real fast? First off,
All right.
special guest Nate Brass.
What's
Popcorn.
up, Internet? I'm Nate. Hi. You can check me out on Escape Dungeon Podcast and other places around the internet. Come find me if you dare. Popcorn Andrew.
Homie and the dude. They're homieing and they're duding. No, really. At this point, you guys should know what their shtick is. They're a father and son led, TTRPG creative team that are bringing really cool supplements like vitamins, but for your RPG brains. So go give them a look. Go see what they're doing. And if you go on their website and you like this stuff, if you use referral code RPGesters, you get 20% off and you get a little something too.
Hey!
So go do that. You get to save money and you get to give us money without actually giving us money. That's pretty sick.
Pretty sick.
Anyway, this is Seth.
If you would please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever reviews can be left. Whatever floats your fancy. And if you fancy never commenting or leaving a review, then you can eat dirt and suck a cylindrical bone.
You freak.
You freak.
You little freak.
You little freak.
You got to blow into it. not suck
Popcorn
it.
to Casey.
Live show. Hey, July 29th, the day before my birthday at Tip and Play in Brooklyn. Link down below for tickets. Also, check out our Patreon where you can support us directly over there. You get bonus content and things like that, like our after show and interviews with TTRPG creators. All of that great stuff is over at patreon.com/rpgesters. And also, we have a website where we have cool merch. Popcorn Rachel.
Hello, everybody. Quick plugs here. Go over to the Hardest Dungeon podcast and listen to me on The House and the Light, which is the latest audio drama coming from them, as well as the Pleasure at West River show. I haven't checked that out in a while, but it is going on. Couple episodes left in the whole series. I'm one of the earlier ones, but please listen to all of them. They're fantastic. And of course, check out Folk and Myth on Twitch, as well as Majora's Rose on Twitch, as well as Rachel Kordell on all the other social medias. Thank you. I think we go over to Sky now. Yes.
Blah 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 blah.
Leave us a review.
Sing for